somebody that's going under the speed limit. This person doesn't have an excuse because it's literally exact they had the sign had a 55-mile-per-hour speed limit sign. Coffee. See if Shiloh's is open. Not Shiloh's, it's Salt River Coffee House or something like that. Okay, y'all be quiet because I got to get on here. Hello. Can everybody hear me? Let's see if we got some audio going. I just want to make sure audio is working because I'm going to be switching to desktop here in a second, but I'm still on my phone. Can you all hear me? Let me know. Okay, cool. Thumbs up. I see the Rachel Abby thumbs up. Love it. Cool. What's up, Kenzie? Good to see you. We're going to let a few people get joined in here and we'll be starting in a second. Per the usual. What's up, Anna? How's it going?
Not much.
Not too much. I'll be at my normal desktop scenario here in a second. It'll be just a minute, but we've got a few more people that should be joining in here. So we'll give them just a couple more moments to jump on in, and then we're going to get started. Everybody have a good long weekend. Anybody have a wedding? I don't know that I've ever shot a Memorial Day wedding or Memorial Weekend wedding. Thinking back, I don't know if that's a popular thing or not. All right, we've still got a few more people that should be coming, but we're going to go ahead and get started. Give me just a second because I'm going to pull up one of our questions here. Kenzie, I was actually going to let you go first, so you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, awesome.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. I know you had a few different questions, and here in a second we can look at your website.
Okay.
But let's cover some of the domain names question first, because I wanted to ask you, and this has to do with rebranding, because you moved over to Show It, right? From,
yes.
What was it, Squarespace?
Yes, I was on Squarespace, and I have 2 different domains through Squarespace.
Okay. Are you going to do a domain forward?
I just followed Show It's instructions, and I did I don't know, I transferred something in Squarespace to Show It. I think it was a forward, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. Well, with the domain, because what I'm hearing is you're just concerned that when your old domain goes away, that it's going to potentially do something negative, right? So
Yeah,
I'm just trying to make sure I understand what you're seeing, and then we can, kind of dive into it. But I'm not I think I know what you're saying, but I'm just not 100% sure. So talk to me more about that so I can answer you.
Okay. So with the analytics or some part of something, it says that the referring domain is my oldest domain on a couple of things, and then on Full Story, I see it pop up every now and then. And it's not like, it looks like it's coming from the website builder portion of Squarespace, which is really odd to me.
Is this, you're saying this is in analytics or Search Console?
Look, it might be Search Console.
Okay. Yeah, see if you can pull that up. Here in a second, I'll let you
Yeah.
screen share it.
Okay.
And then we'll take a deeper look. But you're keeping, I just want to make sure you're keeping your other domains, or you were going to stop paying for them.
No, the oldest one is supposed to expire in October, I think. And so I was going to keep my current one through Squarespace domains as hosting, but the other one needs to go away, I think. But I don't want it to mess it up.
How old is that one?
Old, since 2018, I think.
Okay. I would recommend probably not letting it expire and actually just making sure it forwards to your newest domain.
Okay.
The reason for that is because that domain is actually going to, it's going to have some authority. So if you get rid of it, you're kind of just, you've, like Google likes when a domain is older versus younger. So it's actually helpful for you to have that pointing to your newest domain.
Okay.
So I would keep it and then just have it forward. I know it's probably going to be like $20 a month, but it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
My book, I would just keep it and just have it forward to the new domain.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yep. So, which
I'm not sure why. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I'm not sure why Full Story is picking up like what it is picking up from. It looks like it's coming from Squarespace website builder app. It's really odd, and it's only like a little blip, and it comes up every now and then. And I've seen it a few times.
Okay.
I hope that it's not affecting anything.
Yeah, it shouldn't. You're saying you're just seeing some traffic that would go through that domain.
I think it's picking up me logging into Squarespace to the website builder.
Yeah, I don't think it shouldn't hurt you in any way.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to hurt you in any way. Okay. And Full Story is mostly just, picking up data. It's not really like it's not going to send some signal to Google saying that you're doing bad things or anything like that. Okay. So yeah, I don't think that you have a problem there. The biggest thing about that domain though is it's just typically if you have a domain, the best thing to do if you get a new one is just to have it forwarded over because you're keeping the authority that you had built. You're keeping that instead of, kind of tossing it essentially if you let that thing expire. So it's better for your SEO to have it forwarded. Okay. So, which I think that handles that particular question about the referring domain and stuff. I know you're saying you spiked like 50 spots for a couple keywords and went back down, which is pretty normal. Okay. Also, that may not even be correct because I know somebody else, we've had this a few times where SEO Edge wants to glitch and not actually show you what is reality. So usually that's in the negative side of things where it's like, hey, I was on the first page. Now it says NA, but then like literally you can have you can do an incognito search or have somebody else search it or even look on Google Search Console and it still shows that you're ranking. So, but regardless, whether you dropped off actually or not, the spiking up, especially you're about 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
That's super normal.
Okay.
Super normal. So yeah. I know you mentioned not being able to see the behavior tab in your Google Analytics. Most likely you're inside of Google GA4, Google Analytics 4 versus Universal Analytics. If you'd like, you can go ahead and screen share and I can show you. And we can just double check, make sure. Okay. Hey, Sean. Good to see you. There we go.
Look at my desktop.
Yeah, it's all right. And I'll request remote control just so I can show you this real quick. Thank you. All right. So it looks like you don't have a Universal Analytics account. Have you had this for a little bit?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, go back and you might have skipped it since you already had it, but go
Mhm.
back and make sure that you create a universal account.
Okay.
And just because like this interface is called GA4,
Yeah.
and we really don't. I'm resisting using it with all that is in me because it is way more confusing and not what we want to use
Yeah. I
unless they
don't like it.
absolutely force us to. So
Okay.
yeah, just go back, watch that video, and if you have some issues from there still, just let me know.
Okay.
But usually the video is pretty helpful on that front.
Okay.
Let's check out. You said you've got some full story stuff. You've got your like new website uh, launched, right? Like it's visible and everything.
Yeah.
What's the URL for that one?
It's KenzieNallPhotography.com.
Cool. And I'll go ahead and we'll look at it on mine real quick.
Okay.
Kind of do a look over. So Spearhead Keywords, wedding photographer in Dallas, I take it?
Yes, that's my original page.
Cool.
So I have a couple different duplicates.
Yeah, it looks pretty. I like it. I'm just doing a brief look over real quick. You like the new one a lot better?
Yes, a lot better.
Good. I think the look is a lot more curated looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like the simple, kind of high key look. Not that you have to have that, but I think you've done it well. One thing I would recommend is close up this white space a little bit.
Okay.
And really the best way to do that, let's see. I would almost go with like take this and put it below here. And if
Okay.
that feels like it looks good and it kind of fills up this white space, and that's totally fine.
Okay.
This looks good. Yeah, all this stuff looks good. Let's check
Okay.
out the SEO Quake side of things real quick. And then once you have Google Universal Analytics, we'll be able to dive more into like the behavior flow and everything. So,
Okay.
some of that stuff we'll hold off on just because we need GA or Google Analytics,
Okay.
Universal Analytics for it, but we can still check some of this stuff just to make sure it looks solid. This looks good. Got your spearhead up in the title. Got it in the H1. It does show two H1s, so if you can go in and change one of these,
Okay. Yeah.
that would be good. Everything else looks pretty solid. Cool. Looks good. Let's check your keyword density real quick, since this is the most common thing we usually run into errors with. I know you've got your spearhead's the wedding photographer in Dallas, right?
Uh-huh. Yes.
See that. I think you had the TX in there, which is good. Don't forget, you do want to have Texas spelled out. Now, you probably have that somewhere else, so I'm not too worried about that. I think I even see where you've got it spelled for the venue stuff. But going back, like, let's do plural. You got that. Good. Perfect. Photography. Good. Looks like you got that too. And of course, the other form is Dallas Wedding Photographer. Looks like you got that. Photography. Photographers. I would fit that in there. Have the plural in just because that's one of the big main keywords for Dallas. You do have your spearhead is at 8 times. The density is decent. Your prominence is pretty good. I would actually maybe take out like a couple use like transfer over one of those uses to being the plural, the wedding photographer or Dallas wedding photographers.
Okay.
Okay, and then another one that would be good would be like Dallas, Texas wedding photographer.
Okay.
So again, I would just have a few different variations where in the context of wedding photographer, you have Texas spelled out
Okay.
instead of just the TX. So I like using the abbreviation, but I also like having the state spelled out like that. So, but don't be afraid to, instead of just adding more, just take out, 2 or 3 of these repeats on the spearhead.
Mm-hmm.
And just start filling it in with some of those, the Dallas, Texas wedding photographer, wedding photographer. What was it? Wedding photographers, Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Have you, yep, looks like you got an experience page. Love it.
Mhm.
Cool. So they're going to click through, kind of get an idea. I would make sure this works good on mobile.
Mhm.
I mean,
Okay.
again, I don't know just because I'm not on mobile. And if you're seeing a lot of people like pass over this, I would consider removing the necessity to click it. But we
Oh,
won't
okay.
know. That's just one thing I could see being a potential. It's
Okay.
cool, and I like clickable elements, but if we don't see people interacting with it on full story, I would consider, um, and that's by the way mobile too. Like if people are having troubles, not maybe they don't see the button, anything that people don't notice almost immediately, like they can get confused on and end up
Okay.
not really understanding what's going on. And the way this fits on my browser is it's I could see people possibly getting confused about
Mhm.
that they need to click through. So that's just something to think about. Um, there's another one thing you can try to do if you don't want to completely change it is like give instructions below here. So
Oh, okay.
like click through, click the arrows below the text. Um, and honestly, it may be even better if there's an arrow here. I don't know.
Right.
There's so many variables you could try here, and I like this, but I just want you to, when you watch it on full story, be aware of how people are interacting with this. Because
Okay.
if they're not, we definitely want to start being like, okay, to see more about my process, like click the arrows below to, go through the thing.
Okay.
Looks like there's some extra white space right in there
Mhm.
too. So, I know you kind of just got this up, but I would go through and get rid of some of the extra white space so it doesn't feel so like it's got kind of like an empty spot there.
Mhm. Okay.
And then the next step will just be watching through this stuff on full story to try to
Mhm.
get a good idea of how people are interacting with it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Good job on all this stuff.
Thank you.
Like your new site.
Thanks.
All right, cool. Okay, so let me see who we got next. Kinsey, did we cover everything for now? We
I
did,
think
right?
so.
Okay, I think we did. I think we got because we got through domain names, the spike in your rankings,
Yeah.
the behavior tab, overlook website. So yeah,
Cool.
we should be good for now. Okay,
Thank you.
cool. You are welcome. Thank you. All righty. I got Anna. Anna has a question about duplicating homepage to reflect Des Moines. Take a look at it. Yeah, we can take a quick look. And as long as we've looked at your homepage before, so I know it's kind of one of those things where if you've got your homepage pretty much all nailed down,
Sure.
then it should be pretty clean cut duplication.
Mm-hmm.
So was there anything in particular you wanted me to look at?
No,
Just in general?
I don't know. If you want to suggest anything, feel free. Like,
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna take a
I
look.
changed up a few of the blog posts to make them more Des Moines based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago did you create this?
Probably a week.
Okay.
It's-
You already submitted it to be indexed?
Yep.
Did it move in rankings at all yet?
No, I haven't added those keywords in yet because I have to switch to premium for SEO Edge. I can only put in like 5 free keywords or something like that.
Oh, in SEO Edge, they're limiting on keywords now?
Well, yeah.
They used to not. I'm surprised
Okay.
by that. It used to be like unlimited keywords for one profile.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So do you?
Yeah,
You've only
for a
got
month now.
you've only got one profile in there though.
Yeah.
Just the one website, right?
Yep.
Okay. I asked that because somebody the other day was like, "Yeah, I added a bunch of like they had a question about adding various websites. Like, do I need to add each blog?
Oh.
Like, if I'm trying to rank a blog post, do I need to add the specific blog post?"
Yeah.
So I was just curious, make sure That's
Yeah.
not what you were doing. And I've done the paid version for forever. So when they change the free
Yeah.
stuff, I'm unawares because
makes
I don't
sense.
have the free version.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I was surprised Des Moines has more searches than Omaha does for wedding photographers, even
Oh,
though
really?
it's like a third of the size, maybe
Yeah.
2/3. It's a lot smaller, but it has way more searches.
Yeah. You'll see that kind of stuff happen.
Yeah. And that's where most of my business is anyways. I'm like, well, I may as well create a landing
Okay.
page for it.
Yeah, you might as well. I'm just reading through some of it here.
Yep.
Has behavior flow changed at all with getting people to? I know it won't be for this page because you
No, I
may
think
not
it's
have a
still
lot
the
of
same.
traffic. Pretty much blog. A lot of people go on
Yeah.
blog. Have you had any movement from the second page inside of Search Console?
As far as being on the second page, one of my keywords says I'm number 9 now.
Oh, well, that would be
So,
first page.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
cool. Which keyword?
Omaha, Nebraska wedding photographer.
Okay.
And then
let's
Omaha
go.
wedding photographer, which is my spearhead, is at 10 right now. So
That's also first page.
I thought first page was 9. Sweet.
Yep. Yeah, which I don't know if it'll show it on mine
Oh
yet
yeah,
or not.
there was one thing on my Des Moines page. It was something about the schema markup code.
Yeah.
I don't
you'll
really
need
know
to.
what that was.
There's actually a video on schema markup.
Oh, it's there.
So yeah, check that out. It'll walk you through it.
Perfect.
Let's see.
I just saw that when you were in SEO Quake.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it was Omaha, Nebraska wedding photographer. That was
Okay.
that one is still page
Well,
2.
keep in mind, like I've probably done this search before, so like my search results may not be the most up to date.
It's true.
So
Well, and I'm
you know.
expecting it to kind of, and what did you say? Until you get like to number 3 or something, it doesn't always hold.
Well, even once you start getting around 5 or so, but if you're having that upward movement, that's good. Mine's probably just showing like, basically old results because I'm sure I've done a search for Omaha stuff before.
Yeah,
so I don't really trust mine as much. Like I would trust what Google Search Console says or SEO Edge says more than me doing a personal search. I'm still seeing it on second page, but if SEO Edge is saying it, and it's showing it when you click on it, like it shows the search results, especially, then I would trust it. And then of course Google Search Console. And then you have done the Google My Business stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm still working on getting a lot of reviews. I only have like 10.
Okay.
But
yeah,
it takes time.
Yeah, that's better than 0. 10 is better than 0.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, all this looks solid. I think this looks great. So,
Okay.
I like how you're doing your storytelling in here.
I'm trying. I might change it up a little bit, but
Yeah. Well, pretty much the only thing right now that I would say is, like you pointed out, the schema markup. The other thing that's interesting, and I don't know why this is. I see this with Show It sites sometimes, which is your Show It.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a standard thing to have. So I don't know why it wouldn't be there. And I have seen this before. I think what we had done before is just had someone reach out to Show It and be like, hey, it's showing that I don't have a robots.txt file.
Mm-hmm.
And just see if they can, they might be able to say, oh, well, we'll get that uploaded or whatever. So that would be my suggestion on that. And that's probably going to be, that should be site-wide. That should not just be that page, and we'll double check. But yeah, that should be like a site-wide sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll reach out to them and see what they say.
Cool. How did you get, did you just add like a different logo specifically to the?
No, it's not actually directly a logo. It's just text from Show It.
Oh, okay.
So I just changed it in the Des Moines one versus the Omaha one. I'm working with a designer to get more permanent branding right now.
Okay.
But that'll take time.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. I think it looks good. But yeah, see, like it's showing you have a robots.txt file here. So that's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
So I would still maybe reach out to him and ask why that
Okay.
might be.
Yep.
Because I'm like looking at it, I'm going, okay, why? It should be site wide.
Yeah.
So this wasn't on a subdomain, was it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, going too far back here. I noticed that this is the www.
That's probably just what I sent you.
Yeah, it could be. See what it does if I
Get rid of that.
Yeah, it looks like they just got it located on the HTTPS. No www, which www is a subdomain technically.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a subdomain, kind of like if you made it education.anabracephotography.
Yeah, I
Like
guess
that
that
would be a
makes sense.
subdomain.
Yeah.
So yeah, you should be good on that. But no,
Okay.
this looks great. This looks great to me.
Sweet.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to hear that SEO Edge is showing you moving up.
Yeah.
And I like seeing the upward movement. So I kind of expect just over time, we're probably going to see more and more of that.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
takes time.
you'll just keep moving up as long as everything checks out. So really, you know, and I think for us, maybe the main thing is just, you know, I kind of want to make sure that you've got plenty of people going to your contact page. So if you see anything new with that, or if you even want to review that again sometime, let me know. But good stuff. Like that you found the traffic for Des Moines. It's
Yeah.
always a good thing when you start finding some new extra traffic.
Yeah. Well, the keywords are weird. Like the one that's ranking the most, what was it? It was like photographer in Des Moines, Iowa for wedding.
Yeah. You'll
I was
find
like, well,
sometimes
how am I going to work this in a grammatically correct sentence?
right. Yeah. And
But-
the reality is sometimes like you'll rank for that stuff, even if you
Yeah.
some of the weird ones you might end up ranking decently for, but you can end up ranking even better if you do include them on your site.
Yeah. It's in there.
Yeah.
We
So
managed it, but
yeah, if you get creative,
Okay.
all right. Well, cool.
Yep, thank
Thank you. Appreciate you, Anna. Sean, I got you up next here. Checking on analytics stuff. Oh, is she? I think she's on the phone real quick. So we may here we'll come back to her. Let me see. So we got Kenzie, got Rachel. Is going.
Hi.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see
We're
you
gonna be
too.
coming your way not too long.
Fun.
Another trip down to Wilmington.
Nice. What's
Yeah.
bringing you up this time?
Family trip.
Oh, fine.
Yeah. So kind of the yearly thing that we do, go down there and visit my aunt and uncle and let them get us on their boat and stuff and go to the beach. So
Fun.
yeah.
You go to, you said Wilmington or Wrightsville or like,
Yeah, it's Wilmington. So you know, that's where they live. I don't know technically. I would think that the beach is still Wilmington.
yeah, there is a Wilmington beach. It's just most people who, when they say Wilmington, actually mean Wrightsville, just because of
Right.
the Wilmington section of the beach is not as like big and broad as.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like there's not usually unless they've gotten there by boat.
Yeah.
They get there by boat.
Yeah.
So which is how we do it too. So I don't know that it's a popular beach. Like Wrightsville is more of like a beach that people go to.
Go to, yeah. No, and it's really
Um,
friendly to people coming in beachside because there's public bathrooms you can use to spray off and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. No public bathrooms here.
Yeah.
Some weeds, tall weeds, like near
Yeah.
some of the water that you could pretend is a bathroom. But alas, no bathroom. All right. So we're looking at website flow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice any changes since last time we spoke?
Not super a lot. I do want you to look at the changes because one of the things you told me to do is change fonts, and my site did not have Georgia was one of the ones you suggested. So I just looked for fonts that kind of look like it. And then I was supposed to adjust my mini about me to make it so that the words were more bold. I tried putting a like a box behind it, like you said, but on mobile, it doesn't stay in the same location. So it looks funny. So
Ah,
I can do one of two things. One, I can do what is there right now, or two, I can make it where the picture is side by side with text, but not overlaying.
okay. Well, let's go there real quick,
Yeah.
and let's kind of talk through that first.
Oh, this
Well,
needs
are
to
we
be
talking about?
refreshed.
Okay, go for it.
It's not been, sorry, it's not been refreshed. I had it. Yeah. That's fine. Okay, so you can look at.
Yep. I do think that's easier to see there
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah,
I think
so
this
there's
looks a
that, and
lot.
then
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
so
this
there's
looks a
that, and
lot
then
better.
I can, yeah, and I can also make it so the picture's on just the left side, and then the words are on the right. But it was basically that font was I was looking for something that was kind of like Georgia.
Yeah. No, I think the font looks pretty good.
Okay.
You didn't change anything up here, right?
No, I changed
Okay.
this part on that font. I changed here where it says the Rachel Abbey Show, and then put a sub context, and then put it as a paragraph because it was two separate things, and then changed this mini about here to have that different font.
Yep. Yeah, I like how you did the font. I'd maybe put a space right there.
Okay.
Just to start a new line. It's just a minor thing, but
Yeah, totally. I'm here for any suggestions.
I'd give this little section a heading. So
Okay.
like, again, benefit focus. So like, even if it's like a wedding inspiration advice, something like that. Which you could even say Raleigh, Raleigh inspiration advice, Raleigh wedding inspo advice, etc. But just something to give it a heading, so
Yeah.
people like, and you want it to
Raleigh.
sound authoritative, like like this. Okay, here's a new section of info, and just kind of describe that a little bit. So, but this so far, I like what I'm seeing. And you've kind of got that here, even.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like up here, this is like this is kind of like the top ones, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like maybe some of your top. I might even say that. Just might say like a few of my most popular advice
Okay.
articles, something to that extent. Cool. I'd make this font the same, so like that same Georgia font.
Yeah.
I know it's not Georgia, but
Yeah,
Georgia
the one
esque
that's
font.
kind of like it.
Yep. And then pretty much anytime you do like a paragraph,
Yeah.
I would keep it that sort of stuff. Uh-oh, don't cough.
Yeah. Yeah. Little buddy's not feeling great.
No, it's that time of year, at least for me, when the allergies start going crazy and then it turns into a sinus infection. So, same here.
Mm-hmm.
I would do any of this paragraph font, more of that other font. Then, if this can be unbolded, I would unbold that.
Okay.
And then it's same with this. So
Mhm.
just keeping that all consistent.
Yeah. I'll change all those are all technically buttons. When they change the color or whatever, but I'll change all the buttons to be the other font.
Cool.
If I cannot unbold the text on the Kayla review, would I be better off putting it back to the other thinner font, or just
well, nah, I'd probably like, you're talking about this one, right?
Yeah.
If it can't be unbolded, I don't think that's your biggest, the biggest thing you need to focus on right now. So if you can't bold it, just leave it. Just leave that. My biggest thing is I just want to create as much consistency as possible.
Yeah.
But in a way that like balances out the attention that is shifted towards focusing on the headline.
Yeah, no, with this situation, without it having a headline, it looks a little bit like it's yelling in boldness.
Yeah, well, and I do. Yeah, I agree that it'd be good to have a headline here too. So like like something about it, what others are saying or something like that. So let's go back real quick to here. Well, no. Let's go to Amber. Oh, poor baby.
Mm-hmm. You don't feel so good. It's okay then.
It's not no fever, is there, or is feeling
no
that sick?
fever, just cold, cough, gross. He's the last one to get it. All the others had it already.
I had that. I think it was last weekend.
Oh,
Not
thanks for the
fun.
belch.
We've been watching through any of the full stories.
We were here on Friday. We looked at some of them. Basically, I haven't seen much since I changed it. But what was before is just a whole bunch of scrolling and then bouncing.
Okay. I want to check these out real quick.
Yeah. Oh, this is on the test page that is not live. So this is for me.
Okay. This may be the same thing, but we'll see. So this was on
The how much.
the how much to invest article.
Yeah. Are they past where it dead clicked?
What'd you say?
I was asking if they're past where they did clicked.
Yeah, well, I think that it almost even looked like they just clicked on
The
the
article.
side of the screen or something.
Yeah.
And they're going over to the and then off to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I'm not the oh, they came back though. I'm not the biggest fan of sending people off site, like providing social buttons for that purpose. I tend to want them to stick around and stay because I think it prevents less less opportunity to be distracted.
Yeah.
So you may consider taking those off. I typically say I think it's better to leave them off. Pendleton it's 0 seconds. That's probably the thing that you're working on.
So Willow Springs is probably me.
Okay.
Pendleton, I have no idea where that is. I don't recognize the town name. Thank you. I don't. Thank you.
Well, they found you on Google. Yeah, I just want to watch through a few of these and see what they're doing.
Makes sense.
They're checking it out, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting
Yeah,
because they got to your about. I think it was like the about page, and then once they're on the about page, because we're seeing a lot of people go through those steps.
Yeah.
So back to behavior flow real quick. When they're clicking about, they're clicking on at the top of the page usually, or what?
Yeah, because on the experience page, it has all of the calls to action are, I think, contact. They go to the investment page. But on the about, it points to the experience page.
I'm almost wondering if they're feeling a little bit like they're getting put in like a loop.
Mm-hmm.
Because that person
Did a loop.
They did a loop.
Yeah.
And I think maybe they thought they were going to a new place.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was the same thing because they went here. And they got to did they click on about at the top?
Mm-hmm. They scrolled all the way to the bottom, then went back to the top and clicked about.
Okay. Same thing, by the way, with this text. If we can make that non-bold, I would recommend it. Then this is where your wedding.
Mm-hmm. And that goes.
Goes back to experience page, right?
Uh-huh.
So both these go to experience.
Yeah.
Why don't we try sending people to the contact page here?
Okay.
Let's give that a shot. Because my thinking is they're likely to click on this if they haven't been to the experience page yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're seeing inside of analytics. Right? So about, and then you got your most common route from about is the experience page.
Yep.
So I'm thinking we start sending them more towards the contact page.
From
Just
about.
to kind of experiment with that a little bit and see if we see something different. Because right now, if anybody else is doing that, where they, we're sort of like sending them in a loop, they
Mm-hmm.
think they're getting something new, which is a chance to build dopamine.
Yeah.
But then they go to the same page that they've already been to.
You can build frustration instead.
I think it could be potentially some frustration. So now that we're seeing that, you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
I think we can try to maybe give them something different there. Send them to that investment page, which is your contact page.
Yeah.
And see if that mixes things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Did we say that? Which one did you say was you? Was it the Holly Springs that is you or what?
Willow Springs. So
Willow
Raleigh is
Springs.
not me.
Okay. Let's just watch like one more here. Looks like they have highlighted the entire page.
Yeah.
They're like, why is this website so blue?
Weird. Yeah. They're on there long enough. They should definitely click on something so it'll unhighlight.
Eventually. Yeah, they're going to click on something eventually here. Experience.
Mm-hmm. How is it still highlighted?
I don't even know. I'm a little bit like, what?
Are they like screen recording or something?
Yeah, I have no idea. It looks like they've, like when you accidentally go to try to highlight something and it like selects the whole page.
Mm-hmm.
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville's a town that's near here. It's like 45 minutes away.
Okay. So this is a Facebook person. Let's actually go back. I want to find another. Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill's near me.
It's also Facebook. You have a Facebook post here recently?
No.
Oh, really?
Not wedding. Like I post on Facebook regularly, reels and stuff like that, but
That's funny.
sorry. My little tiny person crawled away and found scissors.
If it is anywhere where they can find it, they definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
Winston-Salem?
Yeah, that's like an hour and 15 minutes away from me.
Okay. It's Google, which I know these are before some of the changes.
Yeah.
So we see some of the symptomatic scrolling, which is what we're
avoid.
hoping to solve here.
Yeah.
Like, all right, but I love that people are getting to the experience page. All right, let's go back. I want to try to see if was there anything that's newer since you've made these changes in terms of full story?
A lot of them are like 0 seconds and all of that. There's
sure.
an India person, but that's not going to be
We don't
super
want that.
helpful. Yeah.
So this was Google, but it was pretty short. It almost looks like they were trying to scroll there though, and they were struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
It's on mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Does this picture render like that on mobile?
Not that I'm aware of. When I've looked at my website, because I look on my phone and I've looked at it like on the computer rendered that way, and it doesn't. But there's also some time periods on mobile with some people when they look at my website, there's yellow around one of the pictures. But whenever I pull it up, it's not there.
Okay. Are you on
Prism,
but are you on Android or
Android.
iPhone? Okay. It could be different because it's Android.
Yeah.
I'm just pulling it up on my phone real quick and seeing if I see anything that I notice. I'm just scrolling down through here real quick. I don't notice anything on the home page. I do see the spot where it's like yellow, like there's like yellow border.
Yes, that one. That's what I'm talking about. On mine, it doesn't show that way.
Is there a way to edit just the mobile version on Prism?
I'll mess with it and see. I've looked at it 1 or 2 times, but I didn't see anything specific. But I'll make sure to, like I tried to make it so anything that was around it or background was transparent. But I'll double check.
Okay. Okay. I don't see anything else too funky on that particular page. Which I think was it the. Oh no, it was the homepage.
Yeah, it's homepage mini about me.
Yeah, so like that picture for me renders like.
Yeah, same for mine.
Horizontal. That's so interesting.
Yeah, this is a tablet, technically speaking, by the size of it.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe it's just how the tablet decides to do it, which you can't. It's hard to plan for all those sorts of variables. So
Durham and Raleigh are both near me. Obviously, Raleigh is because
did we?
Keywords.
I don't know that we clicked on this one. Did we?
Yeah, it's because it came to directly. It was on a landing page. I think is probably why.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is a re-return from somebody who's been here before.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna check out all the venue stuff. And they spent a lot of time on this.
Mm-hmm. It's a long blog post.
Yeah, that's cool though. It seems like they're getting a lot of value out of it. And you never know with those people. It's like they can get tons of value at this point, and then later on, when it's time to think about photographer, they're thinking about you. Willow Springs was
me.
you, right? Yep. Okay. I think we already looked at the Pendleton, so we don't have a whole lot of data with the new one, like with some of the updates you've made.
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah. Don't run directly into the desk, baby. It's not fun.
Yeah, desks are not fun to hit.
Yeah. So I'll just adjust what you said so far and then schedule it for the next one to get more insight. The only other question I have is my click-through rate is lower than it was the last time we looked for the improvement, and I wasn't sure. I believe that I made the adjustments that you said was to make sure it's only 300 characters, talking in the first person.
Yep. So this would have been
I would have made that like
for Raleigh.
Yeah, like that would have been 2 months ago that I made the adjustment to make sure it's there. But the click-through rate, when we checked it for like the last, it was set for longer, but when we adjusted it for the last 30 days, the last time it was over 1% click-through rate, like 1.5. So it was an improvement. So for me, improvement, I don't care, even if it's small. And if it's like going up and down near there, that makes sense with SEO and all that too. But I just want to make sure there was nothing I was missing on what else to do there.
Yeah. And so you said you changed it. When was the last time you changed it?
That the SEO adjusted would have been in end of March.
Okay. And that was for the meta description?
Yeah, it was the meta description because it was Google wasn't using mine. And so you said that it was probably because it was too long or wasn't like
because I see that. I focus on and cultivate natural, relaxed, fun editorial storytelling. Is that the one that Google picked, or is that the one that you typed?
I cannot remember currently. At one point it did adjust over, so I'm going with if it like I don't know why they would have adjusted back.
Because they do things, so who knows?
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it though and see what's actually on your site, and so I can tell for sure here in a second.
Yeah. Oh boy. See?
If it'll load, that's the tricky thing. Yeah, because you have the hi, I'm Rachel, wedding photographer in Raleigh. Yeah, so it's at least, and again, it could be an old thing that I'm seeing, but to me, it looks like it's just kind of picking what it wants to pick.
Yeah.
Which is great in the sense that you're still ranking page 1.
Yes.
However, we do want it to.
Yeah. Does my picture show up on your thing? Because I did the schema to make sure that it had a picture. But when I looked it up after I had done it, it still didn't show up with a picture on mine. But I wasn't sure if it was.
And you've submitted this to me indexed. Recently.
After I did that.
Okay.
Just submit it again.
Yeah, I would submit it again. I'm still not seeing it, but again, it could be showing me. I'll look it up on my phone because it may show me something different. But on my desktop, it is not showing.
Yeah.
The image there.
On my phone, I didn't see it, and I tried doing an incognito window and searching, and I didn't see it there. But I didn't know if it was just me
check real quick for us. Yeah, I'm not seeing it on mobile either.
Okay, I'll try schema doing it again, and then
and you shouldn't need to redo the schema if you've already done it. You shouldn't have to redo it, but I would make sure that you submit this to be indexed.
Yeah, you just mean my normal URL to Google right here. Yeah, okay. Just making sure I was not missing like some other type of.
No, and let's add real quick your HTTPS version here.
Yeah, that one below the first one should be the HTTPS.
I think you had the www, but I also want to add.
Oh, God, I got without the www.
Yeah. It'll take a while for that to show up, but I'm just kind of curious if it's possibly something in Prism that could be causing that image to not show up. If we've done schema, though, it should be showing up regardless.
Yeah.
So, submit it to me, and I would submit this one particularly.
Okay.
Because I would submit this one particularly. To me, it looks like the www version, www version, is the one that's showing up on Google. So I would submit it to this one as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to figure out if we can get that to show up because it's likely going to. It's going to increase your click through rate. So I'm kind of like, come on, Google. Give us a break here.
Don't bite me, please.
No bites. No bites. I'm just going to do a test live URL real quick. Just make sure I don't see anything popping up here.
Yeah. What did you do to celebrate your holiday?
Well, we went and ziplined.
Oh, fun! Like the whole family?
Yep. Yeah. Me, Michelle and I and the kids went ziplining, which is pretty cool. We had done something like that before, but it was more of the obstacle course.
Yeah, like the Go Ape or something like that.
Yeah. So that was cool to do the ziplining. Get to go. Forget how fast they said you can go. I think we got. Supposedly the max speed was like up to 70 miles per hour or something like that.
That sounds pretty intense without like something blocking your eyes, that amount of wind.
Yeah, I had sunglasses on. And they let us like, hang upside down and stuff. So that was cool. So definitely cool. We enjoyed it. Now our next thing we want to do is the same place that offers like cave kayaking.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So that's the next thing. If we had enough time, we probably would have done both.
Yeah.
But not enough time in the day. I did want to check some of the other related keywords real quick to see if the CTR is kind of doing the same thing for you.
Yeah. Totally.
Because I just want to make sure it's not just that one.
Hold on, baby.
Oh, I didn't mean to click that one.
It's just really tight, and it's nice strawberry jam. I really like it.
Yeah, this one has a higher.
Click through it.
Listen, let us. Yeah, the wedding photographers Raleigh. That's a lower overall impressions though.
Yeah, but I'm here for any level
yeah,
of
for
improvement.
sure. I mean, whatever.
take a win.
We'll take it. But yeah, I feel like right now it's like we've done some, you've made some changes to get your CTR up, but Google's just not picking up on it.
Yeah.
So submit to me index again. Let's see if over the next few days, whether or not it picks it up.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, we may even, I'm just really curious if it possibly has something to do with Prism.
Yeah.
That's kind of what, and maybe there may be a way to fix that.
Yeah.
But as of right now, they're not picking up your new meta description, and they're not picking up your picture.
Yeah.
So let's get it submitted to be indexed, and I'll go ahead and request on this one. Do it on that other one though,
One
the
as well. Yeah.
HTTPS. And I would do it on the other one too. Just do it on all of them, just to be sure.
That works.
Kind of Google, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Bot me.
Let's do it. But other than that, like I think what you're doing in terms of changing the text around and making it easier to read is going to be the solution. Like that's the solution that we're looking for. I'm glad we found
it's
the
test
loop.
case and it's test case and seeing what things need to be improved. Time will show. Thank you for the suggestions.
Oh, absolutely. The loop thing, I'm excited we found that too, though, because I think that could be, because we've got so many people. Oh, we got to find the boats. We got to find the boats. That's that looks like a boat. I'm gonna suggest we click that one too. See, am I a robot or not? I'm not. I'm not a robot. See, I've proved it to you all. For those of you that were wondering whether or not I was a robot,
so you can't be a robot.
I cannot be a robot because I can find boats. All right, thank you, Rachel. As always, good seeing you. Hope little one gets to feeling better. Is Sean still here? Do we still have Sean?
I'm still here.
Hey, what's up, Sean? How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I know we need to take a look at your analytics to make sure it's working properly. Do you want to screen share it with me?
Yes.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. What about you?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Good. Good.
Still recovering. I feel like having fun wears me out more than not having fun.
Yeah.
Like I need an extra
For
nap.
sure. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Now request remote control here. And then
Okay.
do you have this launched yet, by the way? Like is it launched where it's visible?
I do. And someone from Akron, Ohio just reached out. So
for real?
I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think this looks great, by the way. I know you had this purple, which we weren't opposed to, but I think this looks really, really
I got
nice.
rid of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice. I dig it. Trying to see now in analytics. Let's pull that up real quick. See what you got going on. Yeah, it looks like it's got you in GA4. All right. And it looks like you don't have the universal analytics. And just to be sure that they're not, is like I've mentioned several times, they're kind of threatening to move over to GA4. And I'm, like,
Yeah.
we're going to just pretend they're not doing that. Because once they do, it's not a big deal. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's like we can't do anything about it anyhow. But I want to make sure that they didn't go ahead and remove the ability to create that. So let's see what they got here. Because I know, Kinsey, you were kind of having, they say they're going to stop. Yeah. Oh, July 2023 now. Wow.
Oh.
Did anybody that, because that's now a year out. Right, this is 2022.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they originally said like May 2022. Then it was like June 2022. Now they're saying July 1st, 2023. So, just saying, I think they're like, maybe we shouldn't make everybody switch just yet because nobody likes it. So what we'll want to do, Sean. And Kinsey, by the way, if you want to follow along with this, we're already here. So I'll
Okay,
just
yeah,
kind
I'm
of walk
watching.
us through like what we're doing. Sean, just go ahead and add a property name here. Doesn't matter what you name it. You can put, Sean's UA or Sean's Universal Analytics profile, whatever you want to make it.
Okay.
Very good. And then you can pick your time zone, which I think we're both Eastern, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So select Eastern there. And I think you use US dollars last time I checked. So we'll leave that as is. Not that we really need it anyway, but yeah, you can do that New York time. The New York time should work.
New York. Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Awesome. And then we'll scroll down. If it'll let me here. There we go. Add your website there.
Okay.
Very good. And then we're going to click next.
Mine doesn't have that option to add my website.
Did you click show advanced options?
I did. Oh, there it goes. I have to click the little check mark for create universal analytics property. Okay.
Yeah, that's the secret sauce.
Secret sauce.
Mhm.
Yeah. Easily missed for the untrained eye. So it's lagging a little bit. There we go. We're going to say arts and entertainment for lack of anything else that's more specific. Then measure engagement, optimize, measure data across multiple, increase conversions, measure lead generation, and that's it. Then create. I see you in there, Tom. Thanks for the heads up. Now it's loading, so we should be good. Now it's going to want us to put a code in, so we'll get that figured out here in a second.
Okay. Okay.
There we go. So that code right there is what we need. I'm going to try to highlight it here. See how successful I am. There's a little bit of lag, so I'm like, yeah, not too bad. Copy. Got it. And we're just going to go back to your website builder. And was this the actual builder? No, it was over here, wasn't it? The Elementor.
Okay. There it is.
Yeah. And then Elementor. Let me see if Elementor's got a spot for you to put this. Sometimes the plugins do. I don't know for sure if Elementor does. Elementor.
And so I'll need to locate the spot for full story as well.
Yeah, I can help you out with that too.
Okay.
I think that I'm looking at Elementor's. Yeah, you can do custom code. So, oh, come on, pop up. Navigate to dashboard. Is it okay if I mess around, like go to different spots in here?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Cool. So,
Sure.
Elementor custom code is what we're looking for. It's none of those. I want to check real quick though and see if they have anything inside of Yoast, like maybe where they've built this in here. No, I don't think they did. It would make that would make too much sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know. No, I don't want to do it there. All right, let's go. Dashboard. Then it should say, we should say like an Elementor custom code. Let me see if it shows anything else here. Oh, I know what we got to do, I think. Let's actually get back in the dashboard. Oh, do we don't want to, I don't want to lose anything if you've worked on something. Do you want to go ahead and save it? Like update?
I haven't worked on anything.
You haven't?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. As long as you're sure.
Because I haven't. No.
Yeah, I'd hate to like click
Yeah.
something and go leave it, and then you're like, I worked on that for 12 hours. I stayed up all night.
No, you're good.
Rather safe than sorry. And then,
Yeah.
is there a way for your? I'm so non-Mac savvy,
Yeah.
so like you might have to help me out. Is there a way to make that go away?
If you would click on like where the pages meet right there in that little crease. If you come
Yeah.
over
Ah,
right there. Yep, see it? And then you can drag it over. Yeah. just
okay.
drag
I'm
it.
dragging. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
doing
it's so
anything.
aggravating. It did it.
Okay, cool. Goody.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna-
Aggravating.
yeah. Like I've said many times before, I have a Mac, or we have a Mac that we use for the kids
Mhm.
mostly. I'm too far gone because I was raised on PC. Too far gone. I just saw it. Word element. Oh, there it is. Okay. Elementor. Then in here, it should give us custom code. Yep, custom code. Click on that. And then we may actually need to do the tag versus just the actual code number, so that, which is no big deal. So we'll go over to analytics, just because I'm going to show you there's this tag here that we can copy, and we're going to use that one just because in Elementor it's going to be easier to do that.
Okay.
But if you're in Show It, you know, putting it in your header code is the way to go. Or no, not header code, third party. I think third party. Which again, there is a video on where to put this, by the way, Kenzie. If you're
So don't put it in my header code and show it.
you could that will work, but
Okay.
the one thing I've not necessarily seen anybody do that with Show It yet. So if you were to do that, then you were not seeing any information except for your homepage.
Uh-huh.
It may have you put it on every single page. This is just one of those Show It specific things. They're kind of weird about it. Like show it, and it's not for everybody. That's why I'm like a little bit confused by the way Show It does this. So I would put it into watch the video. There's a video on exactly where to put this for Show It.
Yeah, I have it there. I just didn't know if I needed
Okay,
to
yeah,
do-
if you got it there, you're good. Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have to put this into your header code.
Okay.
This is just for, this is like a WordPress thing mostly.
Cool.
And let's see if it's going to let me paste it. Yeah, there we go. I thought I clicked it, but maybe not. Let's try again. Ta-da. Okay, so we'll publish that. Yep. Entire site. So this is where Show It needs something like this, where you can choose, do you want this on a single page or the entire site? It would be good if they would do that, but they haven't yet. All right. So now let's go back to analytics. And just make sure whenever you come into analytics, you know, you can click up here at the top, and you just want to make sure you're on this UA version, at least until July 2023.
Okay.
Okay, and then it'll probably have you select, like, you may need to click the all website data. Once we're there though, we can go to home. Well, I say that, did it switch over? Because this looks like GA4. Hang
It
on.
did. It went back.
Well, now it's still on.
Reverted.
Yeah, and I'm not for sure, like, because I'm clicking on stuff, but there's a little bit of a lag, so it may just be
Yeah.
me. There we go.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna refresh your site here on my computer, see if it starts registering any data. Sometimes it takes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to see what it does. Looks like it's thinking there.
Yeah.
And you
It's going
still,
slow today.
yeah, it is going slow. You have your website, like, you've got the SeanBrowner.com, but then, like, when they click on some stuff, it'll go to, like, your Pixie set, right?
No, it's all well, yeah.
Okay.
When it's broken down into categories of wedding and portrait, it goes to Pixie Set.
Okay. I was just curious because
Mhm.
it'll likely not show that data.
Oh,
Like, if it goes across
okay.
like different websites, it'll probably, we'll see. It may, like, sometimes I've seen that where I want to say sometimes it'll show. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen it show. I think it'll show going to something like that, but then it won't show what they do once they're on there.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that may be something.
What I can do is I can switch that and just have the photos once they go into that section, then everything can be connected to that page.
Yeah.
I'll just change it.
Yeah, I know you're still kind of like,
Yeah.
switching everything around and all
Yeah.
that. So it's all good for now. Long run, it would be a lot. We'll get a lot more data. I'm a little bit curious why it's not showing data here yet. Let's give this, like, give it a few days. If it does not show any data in here, let me know, and we can figure out what's going on. It may just be a little bit slow to pick up some data, but, like, I'm on your site, so it should be picking up data. But again, sometimes it takes a little bit for stuff to pick up. So just let me know. I'd check it maybe even in a couple hours.
Okay.
See what it's doing, and go from there. Sound good?
Okay.
We should have done everything right on
Sounds
our
good.
side, though. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, all right, we got our code up, so everything should be good on our side. It may just take a little bit for it to register. I want to go back in here real quick and see how they catalog, like, where they have that code. So you got the Google UA code, priority. We copied and pasted, so that should be good. Just want to make sure that I didn't do anything when I copied that code or pasted it somehow. Yeah, it looks normal. Yeah, so we've done what we need to do. So yeah, if you don't see some data pop up in the next few hours, I mean, again, we can check it over a couple of days, but I would think even in the next few hours, you should start seeing it say something about users here. So
Okay.
if you don't,
Because it actually took a little while for it to show anything with the first time. So
yeah, I'm thinking I want to make sure that you don't have like a caching thing going on, because sometimes like what happens is like, WordPress is known to do this. You'll have like a cached version of your site, and so that doesn't get necessarily updated all the time, and it's to try to make your website faster. But the problem is then like you don't get the most up-to-date version. So I just want to make sure that you don't have like a cache or something, because that could be another thing that if you have that going on, then it could actually be basically showing like older versions of your site. Let's see. You got that Google Analytics for WordPress. I almost wonder if, let's see. I'm going to search for that cache thing first. Okay. I don't see a cache, so that shouldn't be the issue. Which again, the cache will eventually update. But, you know, it's nice when we can like know that it's working. So Monster Insights, where's that at? There it is.
So do you like Yoast better as opposed to Monster?
I haven't personally used Monster. Usually Yoast is kind of like the big one that most people use, but I'm sure each of them do different things. So, you know, I mean, this may be a good thing to use. I don't know for sure. It's probably just feeding, my guess is like feeding information to give you better insights. So you've hence, you know, the name Monster Insights. So like it's giving you some information like, you know, new versus returning visitors, top 10 countries, top 10 referrals. So this is kind of like cool that it gives you some of this data without you having to go like into Google Analytics to see it. Top pages.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm happy for now. I just would say, oh, there we go. Purge SG cache. Just saw it. You do have a cache. I saw it right as I clicked over on the other tab. That's SiteGround cache. So yeah, okay. Let's give that a click.
I know. I remember seeing that.
Yeah. All right. Let's check it one more time. Again, it could still take a bit to actually start registering data, but you know, I'd rather see it now versus having to wait, because it's always like in the back of my mind, like, was there something else that we could have done to just fix this right now? But if it's not going to do anything now, then we'll give it some time.
I guess it needs time.
Guess it needs some time. Wouldn't be the first time I've seen something like that.
And that's why I put that in the question section, because I wasn't seeing anything until today. So just wanted to make sure it was done right. So I'm guessing that's happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is set up right now. Like, this is all good. It's just not feeding us data. But again, we've done everything correctly from what I can tell. So my thinking is just give it a little bit of time. And if it doesn't start showing some data there, then let me know and we can see if we can figure it out. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Sean. Good job on all that stuff. Keep on keeping up the good work.
Full story. We need to.
Yeah. Okay. So screen share for me one more time. Full story is actually going to be the same deal. Is we'll use that Elementor, the custom code thing. And so anytime that you have a code that you want to put into your heading, it's pretty much going to be using that Elementor custom code thing. So I'm going to request
Okay.
remote control one more time here.
Okay.
And then, did you have your code? Was that over here maybe in this full? Yeah, there we go. So we'll copy that. And we'll come over to analytics. No, not analytics. I'm sorry. Elementor. Sometimes I say the wrong things. Elementor. Hover over it. Custom code. Oop. It didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I don't know what just happened. Let's try it again. Custom code. And then we're going to add new. And we'll call this full story.
Yeah.
I don't know if it actually typed. Yeah, full story. Paste. Publish. And then this does typically take some time. Full story, anytime I'm seeing someone have to use it, it usually takes a minute. I wanted to try something real quick with this layout though. 1 versus 2. Let's see what that does in Elementor. I'm just curious. I don't know that that did anything. All right, so publish. I want to make sure that we did this include. Yeah. So that's what we want. Entire site. Save and close. And then we can go check full story real quick, but honestly, it usually, again, anytime I've done this for myself, it always takes a bit to actually pick up data.
Okay.
So. But once it starts being fed data from the code, it should automatically do what it needs to do.
Okay.
You may like walk through this stuff. I think I actually walk through this inside of the videos, like the begin setup stuff. So maybe work through that. But other than that, the hard stuff is done. So as soon as it starts getting fed data, it should start popping up. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. Love it. I think we had Becca had a question, I think. I don't think Becca is here, but we can still do our best to answer the question. So I'm going to go back out. Becca was asking about, she was adding some keywords, supportive keywords. Okay, so mostly just a supportive keyword check real quick. So give me a second. I'm going to pull that up.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. I'm gonna watch you do your check for supportive keywords so that I can do
Yeah.
that for mine.
Yeah. Pretty much, it's going to be same sort of dealio. The principles are pretty much the same. So let me share screen real quick. All right. So, I opened up SEO Quake and over to density. And then I want to say this is Jackson Hole focused. So now we have wedding photographer. We've got wedding photographers now. Photography. It's all good. Love it. And then trying to remember Jackson Hole. Where is Jackson Hole? You might know Wyoming. Is that Wyoming? So, you it looks like you've got like the Wyoming in there. So I dig that. Let's try the wedding photographer in Jackson Hole. Got that. Of course, we want to try the plural. I don't see a plural there. And I don't see photography. Did see photographer. Let's see if I don't see the state after that, so I would add that in there. Other than that, we do see some other supportive keywords, but just get those other variations that is mentioned inside of there. That would be really good. Just, the kind of the more the merrier, but we obviously don't want to sound spammy. So, you've still got like 7 uses of Jackson Hole wedding photographer. So I would probably recommend actually pulling from those uses. Actually, don't worry too much about your density and prominence. In this instance, I would focus on getting those other supportive keywords in there, even more so than focusing on the density and prominence in this scenario. So I know that you had like the other pages. I would say, just take note of what we've looked over on this page and do the exact same thing for those other pages. Just, make sure that you've got the different variations in there. And really what I do, like whenever we check for this, I just come in and do a search for the page and I go, okay, well, let's do what you're doing, which is wedding photographer, right? And then where you're doing it. So wedding photographer, Jackson Hole, right? And then I'll come back and say, okay, let's just add an S, right? Then add a Y. We don't have those. So there's 2 different keyword variations. And then the other parent keyword is where you're doing, what you're doing. So Jackson Hole wedding photographer, which you got that. You got the S, plural. You've got the Y, right? So you're good on those. There's mostly just those other 2 variations. So that's how I really check for that. The nuances there would be, I do sometimes like saying, I like including Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which you did that one. And then the abbreviation, even Jackson Hole, Wyoming with the abbreviation, which I don't know. I think it's WY. If anybody wants to correct me on that, go for it. But I think we all know what I'm saying. So just including like the state abbreviation and spelled out. Again, it's just all about it's speaking context to Google. So, Anna, hopefully that is helpful. I think that was Anna's question. So we should be good on that. Sean, did you have any questions about that? Like just the supportive keyword stuff? I know you kind of mentioned that, so I just want to double check.
Yeah, you answered it. We're good.
Yep. Say that one more time. It kind of cut out on us. You sound like whenever Neo like picks up the phone in the Matrix or something, and like they go through the telephone. So just give that another shot real quick. Let's see if we can make it through.
I'm good to go.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. And so work on that stuff some, and let me even check that next time. I think that's all the questions we had in here. Tom, you doing good?
Just getting unmuted. The only thing that's kind of happened in the last week or so is that I want to ask you about is that so I was up to like maybe ranking like 10 or 11 for my spearhead keywords, so like right at bottom of page 1. In the last week or so, I've slipped back to like 17 or 18, and I've been at 17 or 18 for a few days. It's not a huge change, but just curious if that feels maybe normal to you, and I've not made any changes to that page.
Okay.
In that week or so.
No changes.
Nope.
All right. Let me see what I'm seeing on my front. And then also if you've got Google Search Console up,
Yeah, let me
happy to
grab
kind
it.
of take a look at that too. Doesn't sound too crazy of a thing to happen, especially within the, still kind of fresh within the first few months of ranking. But as long as we don't see anything too crazy here, then I'm not really worried. But I do want to double check and make sure I don't see anything funky going on.
Sure.
So.
Oh, sorry.
That's all good. So. Yeah, see where it's kind of giving like that 11. This is, I mean, the pattern here actually looks really good. The overall arc, like, you kind of saw like the jump to the 53 and then drop to 84. And then suddenly you go up to 17.9, and then there was a drop to 42. Right. And then it's got you up to the 19, and it made this sort of creep into the 40s, up to the 30s, and up to 11. So like really this little, especially because you've got this guy right here, this actually makes me think you're about to go up, probably maybe even a little bit higher on the first page. We tend to see pullbacks before there's like upswings. So you see like a lot of your largest leaps were actually from like a low.
Right.
Because you're like back here, it's like, hey, I'm climbing. And then it's like, whoa, wee, up. So, I don't really.
So it doesn't, I'm used to that, like heading down. Whoa. So
yes, that is very much. And, I wish I knew exactly why this happens, because like, it's probably the same reason it happens in the stock market. I'm guessing. I don't know. Like, I'm like, if I knew exactly why this happened, I would monopolize and like take advantage of it, but I really don't. But the fact that you've got the clicks happening is a good sign, so you've got like this guy, and this isn't even a huge drop. This is just kind of like a little bit of a plateau, then a little slump. And so this looks fine to me. I wouldn't sweat it. We can still look at like your analytics though. If you want to pull that up, I can still just double check, take a look at things inside of there. Is that kind of doing that for all those related keywords, like the Raleigh related keywords?
they all slid a couple spots. Yeah.
Okay. And then maximize this for me, because I can't see that far left side.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just want to be able to actually click on it. So didn't want to do any guess clicks and end up clicking the wrong thing. Site content, landing pages. And you said you've not really changed anything here.
Yeah, I don't think I've changed anything in the last week or two on that page.
Cool.
The only thing I've changed is like I've put links to my other locations like in the footer and stuff.
Okay.
But that nothing really
have those other locations changed in the rankings at all?
No, but I think I just did that internal linking last night or yesterday.
Okay. So pretty fresh stuff. Bounce rate really improved over the last, and we're looking at like the last, what is that? Like the last week versus the week before, which again, it's normal to have some variation. So keep that in mind. But that's a pretty good improvement in bounce rate. Session duration is not the best, but I don't necessarily think that is what's killing you here, because it's even still pretty good. So behavior flow, let's check that out real quick, just out of curiosity to see how things have changed. Got a lot more people going to your blog all of a sudden. Anything changed with that?
Nope. I mean, I posted maybe one more thing in there.
Okay.
I've talked to 2 other photographers about writing their blog for them. So I wonder if they're probably coming to look at mine.
Yeah. That could be it. All this looks pretty decent though. What's that NC wedding photographer page? Is that
that's technically my portfolio page, but
okay.
I'm using I'm using that to try to rank for NC wedding photographer. So I've got so that I'm trying to make some good use out of my quote unquote.
Okay, cool. This pathway here, I would really make sure that your call to actions to contact you, like reach out, are solid, and that you've built up enough like belief that that's the best next step. Just saying that because I don't see like this particular pathway, like I'm not seeing it reach the contact page. That's what we really want. I mean, there might be other contact pages in here. It's a little bit pixelated, so I'm trying to read through. But I think for you, one of the big things now is we want to make sure we're problem solving for, okay, we want to make sure they're not just going through a series of pages. If they're in that experience page, we want to be very purposeful about where they're going to. So my thinking is this experience page, ideally, either they're going to like your contact page from there, or they're going to, maybe they're going to the how much to invest in a wedding photographer sort of article, or maybe they're going to about me. But even then, those places should be leading to your contact page.
Yeah,
So
I'll take another look through those. I definitely have a lot of call to actions for contacting me. So I'll go through with a fresh eye and think about placement and stuff. But there's definitely no shortage of those for sure.
Okay. If there's no shortage and we're seeing, we can even pull it up if you want to pull up your site. If you're not having a shortage of the actual call to actions, it could be even silly little things can affect stuff like that, like the color of the call to actions. So we can take a look real quick and just kind of check it out, see if there's anything that we notice right off the bat. Got the ready to inquire, contact me. Contact me. So my first gut reaction is let's try something different than ready to inquire, contact me.
Okay.
Everybody's people are different, but a few ideas would be get info. That one can be a good curiosity one. Okay. I'm not opposed to like schedule a free consult. I tend to like that better if it's like a benefit that they can get, so it's almost like the consult is the lead magnet. So it's like, schedule your free consult to, in this scenario, like for what? To talk to me, right? To find that I'm the best photographer that you can possibly get. So it's kind of, you can, if you're like, okay, no, I can think of a good benefit to put here, like go for it. But I think that when you don't necessarily have that, it's not even a bad thing to even just put like get info, because then that is a curiosity driven thing. So I would try doing that and seeing if we can get some more people to actually go to your contact page. Because right now that's where they kind of get into that experience loop.
Yep.
So give that a shot.
That sounds
Let's see what
good.
it does. I will spread this out a little bit real quick, just see if it alters if it alters anything, just out of my own curiosity. So I don't know if it's going to let me click that though. Can you click that date range and change it to 30 days?
So you gotta move my Zoom window here. There we go. You said 30 days?
Yeah. It just did not want to let me click that for some reason.
And I've certainly made a lot of changes in the last 30 days, so it's not been static for the last 30 days for sure.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Yeah, and we're still seeing some of the like the homepage. Now this pathway in particular was actually kind of nice because you had that's that portfolio-ish page, right?
Yep.
So to me, looks like where else were they coming from there? So when they came from that portfolio page, they didn't hit that contact page. When you got one, so they eloped North Carolina. You got one thing I'll point out, and I wouldn't go back and change these now, but future reference, add a hyphen in between each word. So like elope hyphen North hyphen Carolina. Just as best practice. The Meet Tom, let's see what Meet Tom did here. Had 2 people at the contact page there. That's your About Me page.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm not real surprised by this. Generally speaking, anytime people go through portfolio page, very rarely, and I could be proved wrong. Somebody can prove me wrong for sure. I'm not saying everybody is the same, so I'm not trying to make a blanket statement. But generally speaking, anytime we see people hitting portfolio pages, if it's very picture heavy, it very rarely seems like it ends up on a contact page, which is what we want to see people doing. It's like there's a few other pages that looks like they, did result in going to the contact page. I don't know why, but it will not let me click on that to be able to expand that group. But either way, it's going to have 20 pages. It's going to be hard to tell which one it was. But we know this Elope, North Carolina had one, and then this Meet Tom, your About page seems to be drawing some people to the contact page. So just some thoughts on that. There's probably a reason why, okay, homepage, Meet Tom, there's something on that Meet Tom page that is motivating them to arrive at the contact page.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's just some useful data. That's why I do like still pulling out and doing like a wider view, like a wider angle look on your website over time, because we start figuring out like, okay, what were the best routes that people have taken that the highest percentage of people ended up where we wanted them to eventually.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'd maybe, in terms of drawing data from this, it's like maybe there's even something on this Meet Tom page that you can include on the experience page, for instance.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something on this. I don't know. That might be that's probably the first thing I'd go to. What's on the Meet Tom page that I could include on the experience page that might increase the amount of people that are where they don't even necessarily have to hit that Meet Tom page. It's just already on the experience page. Yeah. That's another thing that I think will help encourage people to hit that contact page.
Cool.
Sound cool?
Good food for thought.
Cool stuff. All right. Well, I believe we've covered everybody. So what I am going to do, I'm actually going to pause it. Okay. And I'm going to grab a snack and I'm going to come back here in a few minutes. And I have a few more questions that I did not actually get to last Mastermind session for people that weren't here. So I am going to cover a few of those questions. Y'all are, if anybody wants to stick around, you're more than welcome to do so. But like I said, I am going to take I need to fill up on water, and I'm going to see if my wife went and got coffee. We ran out of coffee. That like you wake up and I actually did get 1 cup, so it's not that bad. But I did only get 1 cup of coffee today. I don't know if anybody can tell in my demeanor, but 1 cup of coffee definitely, especially coming off of a busy weekend, it's like you feel it. So if anybody was like, man, Jeff is grumpy today, it's because I've only had 1 cup of coffee and I've come off a big weekend. It's not you, it's me, truly. So I'm going to step away, see if we got some coffee and grab a little snack, and then I'll be back and I'm going to be reviewing some of those questions I didn't get to dive into last week. So cool beans. Never clicked on the record button once I walked away. So now I need to say, you all just heard some exclusive content that nobody else gets to hear, but I'm going to repeat what I said for Shanna, because that was the main chunk of it. So real briefly here, Shanna, to answer your question for last week, the answer is, number one, you want to make sure that, I'm just still kicking myself that I didn't hit record, but I'm re-recording an answer for you. And so just a quick recap, you really want to make sure that you have your spearhead keyword in your title, in your H1, and in your content. Then you want to make sure that you have supportive keywords. So you've got the variations of the keyword. So if your spearhead keyword was San Francisco wedding photographer, you also have San Francisco wedding photographer, San Francisco wedding photography, San Francisco, California wedding photographer. And then also the variation of where you're at, what you're doing, or excuse me, what you do, where you're doing it. So wedding photographer in San Francisco, California, wedding photographers in San Francisco, CA, wedding photography, San Francisco, et cetera, to get variation keywords. Then the next point was it's good to go ahead and start building backlinks if you haven't already. Okay, these things can not only help you rank, but help you massively improve your rankings many times in a short period of time. Keep in mind, anytime that you do updates to your site, you do want to submit it to be indexed so that Google finds those things faster. But I would love to help you more on that specific point. It'd just be great if you're here so I can look through what you've done so far, because I did try to pull up your site, but it's not letting me pull it up for some reason. So come to another mastermind session. Love to dive into that for you. And then also I was just going to, for Abby, was going to say, yeah, definitely be checking out Show It and start seeing if it's easier for you to use that theme versus Wix. Cause I know you're kind of on Wix and trying stuff on there. So try Show It, see what you think, and see if it's easier for you to navigate. Right. And same thing for their support team. You may find that you like their support team a lot better as well. I think though that I got everybody's question that was on here from last week. Just looking through it, it looks like I got everybody, but if I didn't, please reach out and I will make sure to answer your question as soon as I can. So thank you for everybody for being here, for sticking around, listening in, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.